On this episode of DC On Screen, Gunn gives us an idea of what his Maxwell Lord will be like and clears up his involvement in that Shazam 2 post-credit scene. David Ayer lends more hope for his cut of Suicide Squad being released, and we have hope that Multiversus will be back soon. All that and a wee bit more, including an update on Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, right after these words from our mystery sponsors. Welcome into DC On Screen, the podcast bringing you news and reviews of the DC Multiverse on film and television since 2015. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and here again, freshly returned from his Disney travels, Jason Goss.
Hi.
How you doing, man?
Tired.
Uh-huh.
A lot of fun, but tired.
I understand. I've never been, but I don't want to because it looks tiresome.
It's exactly that, and it's a trek, but it really is genuinely a lot of fun.
No, Paramount owns Star Trek. You were thinking of Star Wars.
What?
You said it's a trek. I said no. Paramount owns Star Trek.
Dear
You're
God.
thinking of Star Wars.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I was very confused for a second.
I apologize. I realized it was a stretch.
A bit. Again, as I explained, I'm too tired to catch up that fast.
Oh, did you have a chance to look at the Max 2024 highlight reel that gave us a first look at the Penguin?
No, I did not.
Don't bother.
Okay.
It's like literally like Penguin and another dude like throwing somebody into a trunk or something. Like if you had told me that, hey, this was something from the Batman, I would have been like, oh yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's nothing. You could have fooled me easily.
But it was the first look, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, at least
isn't that special?
Well, it was good for me, but just because I knew that, like, hey, they're keeping up the visual aesthetic. Like, it feels like it's part of that universe. We're good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm still excited.
Yeah. Oh, that wonderful little middle space where you can think something's funny because it was not the marketing you would have chosen, but still be excited because that doesn't actually inhibit your enjoyment.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
I'm just suggesting it's possible, and Dave just proved it.
Mm-hmm.
And come on, he's one of the hardest sells on the, like, be positive anyway kind of take sometimes. So
Sometimes, yeah. Thanks for including that sometimes.
I am. I do mean that.
Because I am generally pretty open.
Yeah, you're not just, like, well and truly a dick. You have there are caveats.
Mm-hmm. There are generally, yeah.
There are.
I mean, and some days I'll be like, I don't care. And then next day I'll be like, no, I'm really excited.
I'm just saying, though, if Dave can do that mental math, then I think the rest of us can, too.
Yeah. It's really exciting, man. James Gunn came out today and said, yes, finally I can answer. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor in Superman Legacy.
I am excited to see that confirmed. I did like the idea of it.
Yeah. He says, I couldn't be happier. We went out to dinner last night to celebrate and discuss how we can create a Lex that will be different from anything you've ever seen before and we'll never forget. And then he says, quote, but James, we heard this weeks ago. Why didn't you tell us it was true? Because although we were discussing it, it was not final until a couple of days ago, and I don't want to tell you all something that isn't certain. Anyway, here's the Lex and Nicholas, one of my very favorite characters in the DCU. And interestingly, he has the praising hands, but then he also has like a DNA strand. He has a microscope and something else that I can't make out because I'm half blind. I am excited for this, and this is, what we were telling you a couple weeks ago. Stop saying it's official. It is not official until James Gunn says, hey, welcome to the family, Nicholas Hoult. Don't say it's, because then people are going to be like, oh, James Gunn said it was Nicholas Hoult, and then it's not. No, he didn't.
I mean, no,
he
but
if
we were taking his instructions at face value here.
Which I am.
When he kind of, what was that, like a year ago, it feels like now?
Something like that.
Where he kind of said, I'm going to back off from doing the whole respond quickly thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he even left his standing instructions, for social media at the time were basically like, until you see me confirm it, please don't take it seriously. Because I
Mm-hmm.
will actually confirm things, but I'm not going to come back and do the, within 12 hours like he was doing denial of some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, for his sake, I think I appreciate that move in general. That would have been a workload.
Yeah.
And we had fun with it. We had fun with like 4 minutes later, James is like, nope, fuck off.
He still does it from time to time, too.
He does. I think it's a knee-jerk reaction, though, a little bit. Like, just sees it and like, nope, no harm whatsoever in me banting this one about. Fuck you. This is not true.
Yeah, I think it's like I've got 2 minutes on the stool.
Yeah,
I gotta take a shit. Might as well respond to some people.
I'm just Ubering over here anyway. I'll just take a look. You're an idiot. And no, you actually have a. Let me throw this guy a bone. That actually may be coming out soon. But yeah, I appreciate that was something he delayed. And in general, I do right now.
Yeah. So someone to that responded and said, "Please tell me Lex is going to be bald." And James said, "Of course." Now, here's something he hasn't out and out confirmed, but he has responded in a way that makes me think is true. Deadline came out and said that Sean Gunn, James's brother, has been cast as Maxwell Lord.
And that would be very interesting.
Now, Deadline said that it's uncertain if Maxwell Lord is going to be appearing in Superman Legacy or if he'll just be referenced in the background and will appear later. But very in sync with all of this, James Gunn did post a thing. He posted a bunch of pages from the Giffen DeMatteis JLI run of Maxwell Lord, and he said, calling Max a villain is a bit reductionist as far as I'm concerned. What do you say, J.M. DeMatteis? And DeMatteis said, interesting news, but our Max was never a villain. I hope James goes with the Giffen DeMatteis Maguire version. And then he responded directly to James and said, he's flawed and in the early stories manipulated by a sentient AI, a bit of a con man, but in the end, Max is a heart of gold and loves the team. But I'm sure you know that. And then Gunn says, I like the nuanced Max for sure. The evil Max is in some good stories by some good writers and artists, but I always loved the character in JLI for being multidimensional. Same way I loved Waller in Ostrander's Squad. Two characters able to step out of the all good or all evil paradigm that was de rigueur in those days. It still is, actually. But then someone also responded to the Sean Gunn casting and said, not casting one actor to play multiple characters, huh? You said not happening, and Lie Detector shows that, ... And Gunn responded, I said very clearly, actors will generally only be playing one character on screen, and said in the same response that for voice actors, it is not the same. Sean, Alan Tudyk, Maria Bakalova, Steve Agee, etc. will play multiple roles in Creature Commandos. That doesn't mean they won't play different characters on screen. So what's the need you have, and a handful of others, to so desperately need to believe I'm lying that you seem to purposefully ignore certain parts of what I said?
I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah. I'm like, well, shit, dude.
It's the need to make a stir to be seen for the most part, but
I agree. It makes me angry as shit.
I do get why he backed off, even for those personal reasons.
Yeah, but he did
just exhausting at some point, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got to feel like the same argument over and over again. I mean, it does for us, yeah, like you're saying.
Yeah. Good Lord. But he did post a picture of the crew, him and the crew in a bus, going to scout locations for Legacy. Didn't say where it was, but that's exciting. We've got that news that they are scouting. So there have been all these rumors that Kurt Russell is going to play Jor-El. And when asked about it, Kurt Russell said, yeah, I'll take on Marlon Brando. And then laughed. He says, I mean, there was something awesome about the way he was just looking around. I don't care that he was looking at his lines. He's crazy. Great to watch. And he says,
it's a very down-to-earth commentary on that. I like it.
Yeah, he said
Yeah, that shit was batshit crazy. I know why, but fuck, it was fun to watch on screen, man. I get it.
Yeah, he says he's heard nothing official about playing Drill.
Yeah.
He says, you know what? We don't know a lot about Drill. Maybe there's a version. I never heard this, so I don't know. James Gunn was a blast to work with, so you never know. That does not sound like even a hinting that he's doing it. He's just like, I'll do it if he wants me to.
Yeah, it just sounds like he'll take the call.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit stuck on I don't know. I know there are other versions. Maxwell Lord, do you not one of the first things I think about is sculling Ted Cord.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are two sides, but that's just the memory and the image that I keep coming to every time.
Yeah.
It cracks me up that this is a thing that everyone's like, oh no, he's actually an anti-hero. Or my perception is just very prejudiced, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, was that your first version of Maxwell Lord for the most part?
I think it might have been, but it's also just a very iconic moment.
It's an iconic moment, but when you go back to Justice League International, to the 80s, to the 80s and 90s, and the Giffen stuff, the DeMatteis stuff like this, it was he was a good dude. He was just an asshole and a bit of an opportunist, and he was a little sketch, but he wasn't I'm
probably
gonna
closer
shoot.
To the Supergirl version.
Yeah, actually, he was very, very much I don't know. He was
ultimately he's a good guy, but yeah, he's a little bit shady.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go back to put your brain back in that time frame, he's a slightly funnier, more relatable version of Trump back in those days. He's just running around, pulling strings and doing shit, and I got a plan, guys. And they're just kind of dealing with it, and
okay.
Batman kind of threatens him every once in a while, all right, man.
But if you ever get a line, yeah.
But he wasn't all out, he wasn't a villain.
Yeah, I get it. I think that was before my first perceptions of that guy.
Yeah, and God help me, the Wonder Woman 1984 version didn't help. I can't even think of that as Maxwell Lord. I'm just that's car salesman Pedro Pascal. I don't even know what the hell I'm dealing with there.
Yeah, I know. That's an anomaly.
God help me, the Supergirl version is much closer.
That does feel a lot closer to what I think all of you guys were thinking of, more than what my first thought was.
Well, I mean, my first thought is generally I don't even think of him killing Blue Beetle necessarily. I mean, yes and no. My first thought is his head twisted around with Wonder Woman's
Wonder Woman
lasso. Yeah. But yeah, I understand why people think that that's a bastardization of the character, and that's you took the character too far. I felt like that was one progression of his character. That was, one version that could possibly happen, and that's all these stories are, so I'm sure the Justice League International is out there somewhere in a different universe, and he's just fine.
Yeah. I like it though.
Yeah. So, I think this is more interesting to have Maxwell Lord as, not Lex Luthor. I don't want him to be Lex Luthor.
No, I agree. It would be kind of a clash and a bit of a waste of screen time to have both of them up there. So I like having a different take on this entirely. If it is Sean, that's going to be a very different take than what I've seen.
I know.
Or felt.
It'll be a different take. And then you're going to be so who's Calendar Man now?
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, someone was asked James Gunn, since there is a place for Shazam in the DCU and both Shazam 2 and Peacemaker had teasers for the Justice Society, can we expect The Rock to remain our Black Adam? Fingers crossed. I know nothing has been said, but please consider this, and if possible, make it a reality. Thank you for everything so far. Look, the Rock did come out and say that there's no place for Black Adam in the DCU at this point. Mm-hmm. Gunn said, wait, what do you consider the Peacemaker teaser of the Justice Society? And then he says, I wasn't involved with the Shazam thing. It wasn't my call, and I didn't write it. Although it came out when I had just started at DC, its inclusion far predates me, as does Harcourt as the warden of an underwater prison. And although I thought it was fun, I have no reason why those characters would be recruiting for the Justice Society. That's fair, James. he's skippity papping all the rumors right now. Good Lord.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on the end, man.
No,
it's
going to be a short little period here for a second.
Yeah. David Ayer talking to Total Film about the Ayer cut and whether or not it'll come out. He says, I think so. I'm going to be hopeful. You know, there are a lot of people that are invested in certain narratives that don't want it to see the light of day. So there's an immense political headwind against it, because if that cut were made public, the cowardliness and the whole just general shittiness of how the film's been treated and how the actors have had this great work that they've done taken away, that narrative blows up once people see the movie. But it's coming. Something's going to happen. Something's going to be revealed. The truth always comes out. It always comes out. You know, David, I think it's time to stop. Not because I don't want to see the movie, but because at this point you have hyped it so much that I'm going to watch this thing and go, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't like some great truth springing forth and melting the minds of those in Hollywood who would have you believe. Like, no, it's just going to be a freaking movie, dude.
I had a similar speech years ago on this show.
About Zack Snyder?
Yeah, where I was like, dude, just stop. Because you keep hyping people up. My problem was that, like, you keep hyping people up, but it's... And there's a part of this that I'm still right about as far as the overall process went. But, like, my problem was, like, dude, everyone's hyped up about the thing that isn't happening. That's, like, not on the schedule. Mm-hmm. It's fracturing everyone. I'm right, but not for any reason that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And, like, definitely not his fucking fault. But if anything, if he'd just fucking been allowed to stay in there, we wouldn't have had this problem to begin with. But, or without the interference. But, yeah, like, that was part of the problem with the fracturing. David Ayer, same thing, but much lower stakes as far as what might happen to the DCEU, for instance. Yeah, it's over anyway.
Yeah.
Who cares? Just give me the fucking Ayer cut because we all want to see it.
Yeah. What kills me about this, though, is, like, they're like, is it coming? And he's like, I think so. I'm going to be hopeful. And then, like, he goes into conspiracy mode where he's talking about political headwind against it. And if it comes out, people are going to, their brains are going to explode and they'll know how shitty that everyone's been treating me. And then he's like, it's coming. Something's going to happen. It's coming. The truth will be revealed. I'm like, you sound like Alex Jones.
Okay, it sounds a little QAnon, the way you're framing
it. I mean, yeah. The way he's framing it. I like David Ayer. I want to see his cut, but Jesus Christ, this is terrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. It's a bit histrionic.
A little bit.
He probably could have gotten away with less words on that one.
Probably.
And funny part about that is, like, yeah, dude, I get it. I would probably be pretty dramatic about this too. He put a lot of heart into that, and it does sound like it kind of got ripped out from under him as far as what he wanted to make and what actually happened. So,
oh, it definitely did.
Yeah, I get it. I'd probably be fucked up about it too. But yeah, we all want to see it anyway. So, like, I don't know, calm down, dude. Just can you, like, start some kind of affidavit? I don't know. There's no, like, legitimate way for a former director to appeal to the crowds in a way that, like, Warner Brothers has to listen and do it. That doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can find that thing and get that, email newsletter started, sure, we're all in. Who do I forward it to?
Sure. Yeah, I want to see it. I'd be very happy to see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving on. And Justice League, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's coming. And we do also know that, like, all three parts of it are going to be coming out in 2024. And the first installment is 90 minutes long. they've had kind of a 70-minute release time or runtime on most of the animated features in the Tomorrowverse. So, one being 90 minutes long, that's pretty dope.
That is.
It's
I think I remember like 72, 72, 72, 73, 72.
Yep. And part 1 is available January 9th to purchase digitally from VOD platforms like Prime Video, Vudu, Apple TV Plus. And then it's going to get a disc release 2 weeks later at the major retailers. And they did confirm, DC confirmed, this is the end of the Tomorrowverse movies.
Yeah.
Which includes Superman Man of Tomorrow, Justice Society World War II, Batman The Long Halloween Parts 1 and 2, Green Lantern Beware My Power, Legion of Superheroes, and Justice League War World. So not very deep into this universe, they're ending it. And I'm assuming it's because of our buddy Gunn.
It has to be. I mean, if you're the animated movies right now, I feel like I would just completely focus on Elseworlds for a little while. Like, do my dream of the Snyder metal verse.
Oh yeah, death metal.
I mean,
metal, death metal.
Yeah, you've got just reams of material there to play with.
And they should do Last Night on Earth first.
Oh yeah, that'd be good too. Plenty to play with, and the black labels that you could just kind of fuck around and keep most of it PG if you want to. Not all of it. Some of that just ain't gonna work. I mean, you don't have to show the bat penis if you don't want to.
Why wouldn't you want to?
I don't know. Apparently, get you pulled off the shelves.
Yeah, I'd give him a little cape, a little cape and cowl.
It was only a little shadow, so it kind of looked like it did have a little cape and a cowl.
Da 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 da. By the way, speaking of
no, that was after a long battle. It was da 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 dun dun.
Ah, very nice. Have you heard about this thing that they're doing in DC right now? Like the new big Superman villain is Talia and Bruce's daughter.
I have not.
Yeah, there's Superman has a new enemy, and she is, I guess, like a trained assassin or whatever. Another kid that Talia had with Bruce somehow. And I think it's a dope idea because she's like basically against Superman for all the reasons Batman was in BVS. Like, she was supposed to take down Superman.
Yeah.
I like it. I've seen nothing but negativity on Facebook about it. I don't care.
Yeah, I could get behind that though. That could be fun.
That's a cool concept.
Yeah.
All right, Multiversus. Remember that game? Multiversus, Jason?
From a while back?
They shut it down, the beta, back in June, and they said they were going to make several changes, and they said they'd come back in early 2024. We haven't heard anything. This thing had like Harley Quinn and Superman and Bugs Bunny and Rick and Morty or some shit. I don't know, like a bunch of Warner Brothers things. But it looks like it's back, or it's about to come back, because someone in Belgium found a Happy Meal toy advertisement for Multiversus in store. Like, so advertisements for it are popping up in Belgium already, and it's getting out there. So early 2024 seems like it's true. They're going to have a Multiversus themed Happy Meal promotion. They wouldn't do that if they weren't bringing it back.
I mean, just unless a couple of should have been vaulted prototypes of some kind made it off the shelf, then yeah, probably.
Well, no, I mean, it's like a full on advertisement that's stuck on a door. Like, Multiversus toys are coming to Happy Meals.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do this then, I guess.
Yeah. Right now, in America, the Happy Meal promotion is Crash Team Rumble. But
God, if they don't have the logo and a QR code for HBO Max on the bottom of every one of those last fucking toys' feet, what are you even doing, guys?
Yeah. I mean, I heard it was a fun game. I never got to play the beta version.
Mm-mm. Yeah, me neither.
But yeah, I want to select Harley Quinn and beat the shit out of Bugs Bunny. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't I? And yes, let's do DLCs. I want to play Rick and Morty. I want to play, whoever the hell else is in the Warner Brothers. I mean, I'll probably ignore every Game of Thrones or Harry Potter character, but
I mean, fair. And this is going to be strange, but I think I've told you about this already. If you want a taste of that, just...
I don't.
Hold on. Hear me out. I say that long enough for you to boot me out. Do you remember the LeBron James movie, Space Jam, whatever?
Yes. Yep. I do.
Just look at the still
by the
shots.
way, he's a character in Multiversus.
Yeah, of course he is.
LeBron is.
Of course he is. Yeah, just go look at the actual still shots of the people surrounding the court. I mean, the guys from Clockwork Orange are in there. Mm-hmm. Like they went expansive with the character choices of who was surrounding this game because it was supposed to be all of the WBIPs. It was interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to play it.
I mean, yeah, of course, there's Beetlejuice back there chilling. He's never chilling. That was a bad choice of words, but he vibing for sure.
Yeah, man, it's a really cool concept.
It is. Yeah, I'll probably be down. I'll probably get some version of that just to explore.
Well, my friend, that's all the news I have.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, we got a Nicholas Hoult confirmation.
That was good.
We got a Sean Gunn kind of confirmation because Gunn's like commenting on stuff and around stuff on the same day, but not saying it ain't him. So I'm
also good.
Assuming it's him, but he hasn't responded. He hasn't said it out and out just yet.
Right. Of course.
Must be some reason for that. Like it's not finalized or something. I don't know. It was a good week, but a short week.
Yeah.
For news.
We've had worse.
We have. By the way, I didn't mention this. Merry Little Batman came out.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that did.
Yes, on Amazon. I've had 2 or 3 people message me and be like, dude, you got to go ahead and watch this thing. It's great. So,
yeah. I haven't really gotten back and like adjusted to normal life much yet, frankly. But, yeah, I'll go ahead and get that back in my to-do list.
Yeah, man.
I forgot that would have come out during that time.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to wrap it. Thank you, patrons. Patreon.com/DC on Screen. If you want to help support the show, you can leave us whatever the hell. Email dconscreen@gmail.com. I'm still a little sick and off my
just
rocker here.
Just pulling it together.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Big thanks to Dave for pulling it together anyway, even though he's really fucked up right now.
A big thank you to Jason for pulling it together despite the same circumstances. Mm-hmm. Or roughly the same circumstances and for different reasons. All right. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen. I'm out.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to DC on Screen. Our theme song is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford of Galactic Engineers. The incidental music is by Michael Shackelford and Kevin MacLeod. You can rate the show on Spotify or rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Doing that really helps push our show to new listeners, so your help would be much appreciated. You can also contact the show at DC On Screen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. To become a patron and get ad-free episodes and exclusive content, go to patreon.com/DCOnScreen. Your reviews and feedback may end up on a future episode of DC On Screen. DC On Screen is a production of Maladjusted.tv in association with Stranded Panda. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever damn platform you use.